Christianity. Christianity teaches that each soul faces judgment after death. The righteous, who have faith in Jesus Christ and live according to God's will, ascend to heaven for eternal union with God. The wicked or unrepentant are sent to hell, a realm of punishment and separation from God. Catholics also believe in purgatory, a temporary state of purification before heaven. The afterlife is not just about reward or punishment, but about relationship. Salvation is seen as grace through faith. Ultimately, all souls will be resurrected at the end of time and judged in the final divine reckoning. Islam. In Islam, life is a test of faith, morality, and obedience to Allah. After death, every soul enters barzakh, an intermediate state, until the day of judgment. On that day, all are resurrected and judged by Allah according to their deeds and intentions. The righteous who followed God's guidance are rewarded with Jannah, paradise, a place of gardens, rivers, and eternal peace. The wicked or unbelievers face Jahannam, hell, a realm of fire, suffering, and regret. However, some sinners may eventually be forgiven and purified. The balance of deeds, faith in God, and divine mercy together determine one's eternal destiny in the hereafter. Hinduism. Hinduism teaches that the soul is eternal and undergoes countless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth known as samsara. Each reincarnation is determined by karma, the moral sum of one's actions, intentions, and deeds. A virtuous life leads to higher rebirth, while negative actions bring suffering in future lives. The ultimate goal is moksha, liberation from samsara, achieved through spiritual knowledge, devotion, or selfless action. Upon attaining moksha, the soul unites with Brahman, the ultimate divine reality, ending all suffering and desire. Between incarnations, souls may experience heavenly or hellish realms as temporary states shaped by their past karma. Buddhism. Buddhism teaches that there is no permanent soul, but a stream of consciousness continues after death, shaped by karma. This leads to rebirth, samsara, an endless cycle of suffering and renewal across 6 realms, including human, animal, and spiritual existences. The type of rebirth depends on one's actions, thoughts, and moral conduct. The ultimate goal is nirvana, the complete cessation of desire, ignorance, and suffering, ending the cycle of rebirth. Some traditions, especially Tibetan Buddhism, describe an intermediate state called the bardo, where the mind can achieve enlightenment or move toward a new birth depending on awareness, attachment, and accumulated karma. Judaism. Judaism emphasizes righteous living and moral responsibility in this life, more than detailed doctrines of the afterlife. However, many Jewish traditions describe Olam Haba, the world to come, a spiritual realm of peace and divine presence for the faithful. The righteous enter Gan Eden, a paradise of closeness to God, while those who lived unjustly may pass through Gehinnom, a purgatorial state of purification rather than eternal punishment, often lasting up to 12 months. Some branches of Judaism, especially Orthodox and mystical traditions, also affirm resurrection of the dead in the Messianic age, when souls will reunite with perfected bodies under divine justice. Sikhism. Sikhism teaches that the soul is a divine spark of Waheguru, God, and passes through cycles of birth and rebirth according to karma. Each life is an opportunity to overcome ego and attachment by remembering God's name, Nam Simran, and living truthfully, selflessly, and righteously. The ultimate goal is mukti, liberation from reincarnation, achieved through divine grace and devotion. After death, the soul's fate depends on its spiritual progress. Those united with God achieve eternal peace, while others continue to reincarnate. Sikhism rejects the idea of eternal hell or heaven. Instead, the afterlife reflects the soul's closeness or separation from the divine essence. Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism teaches that after death, each soul must cross the Chinvat Bridge, where deeds are weighed by divine judgment. The righteous experience the bridge as wide and easy, leading to Garodamana, the house of song, a blissful paradise in communion with Ahura Mazda. The wicked, however, find the bridge narrow and fall into Duzak, the house of lies, a realm of torment and darkness. Yet Zoroastrianism ultimately envisions universal restoration. At the end of time, for Shokaredi, all souls are purified through molten metal, evil is destroyed, and creation is renewed in perfection. Thus, divine justice and mercy culminate in eternal harmony. Taoism. Taoism views life and death as natural transformations within the flow of the Tao, the universal, eternal way that governs all existence. Death is not an end, but a return to the cosmic source. The soul, composed of Hun, spiritual aspect, and Po, physical aspect, separates after death. The Hun ascends to the heavens or spirit world, while the Po returns to the earth. The afterlife reflects the harmony or imbalance cultivated during life. Virtuous living leads to spiritual refinement, while moral corruption causes suffering. Through meditation, alchemy, and balance with nature, some Taoists seek immortality, transcending death to unite with the eternal Tao. Ancient Egyptian religion. In ancient Egyptian belief, death was a gateway to eternal life, provided the soul was morally pure and properly prepared. Each person possessed multiple spiritual elements, including the Ka, life force, Bia, personality, and Ak, immortal self. After death, the soul faced the weighing of the heart before Osiris, where one's heart was balanced against the feather of Mahat, the symbol of truth and justice. A pure heart granted passage to the field of reeds, a perfect reflection of earthly life in peace and abundance. Those found unworthy were devoured by Amit, ceasing to exist. Rituals, mummification, and offerings ensured safe passage. Shinto. In Shinto, Japan's native spiritual tradition, death is seen as a transition rather than an absolute end. The deceased become kami, ancestral spirits who continue to influence and protect the living. There is no strict division between heaven and hell. Instead, the spirit's condition depends on purity, remembrance, and harmony with the community. Rituals of purification and offerings help maintain balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. Those properly honored join the collective ancestral realm, while forgotten or impure spirits may become restless or malevolent. Shinto's afterlife emphasizes continuity, family reverence, and the natural cycle of life, death, and renewal. Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, the soul departs the body upon death and journeys to the underworld, ruled by Hades. Guided by Hermes and ferried across the river Styx by Charon, souls are judged by Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Aeacus. The virtuous and heroic enter Elysium, or the Isles of the Blessed, where they live in eternal peace. Ordinary souls dwell in the Asphodel Meadows, a neutral realm of quiet existence, while the wicked are sent to Tartarus, a deep abyss of punishment. Although the afterlife lacks moral absolutes, it reflects one's deeds and honor in life, reinforcing Greek ideals of heroism and virtue. Indigenous beliefs. Across indigenous and animist traditions worldwide, the afterlife is seen as a continuation of existence within the natural and spiritual realms. The dead often join the ancestral world, maintaining relationships with the living through dreams, rituals, and sacred places. Life and death are part of a continuous cycle, where spirits inhabit rivers, mountains, animals, and forests. The afterlife typically mirrors earthly life, a place of hunting, peace, and reunion with kin, emphasizing balance and respect rather than moral judgment. Proper burial, remembrance, and harmony with nature ensure the spirit's well-being. Death, in these traditions, signifies transformation, not separation or finality. Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, death leads the soul to one of several realms depending on valor, death type, and divine favor. Warriors who die heroically in battle are chosen by Valkyries to dwell in Valhalla, Odin's hall, where they feast and train until Ragnarok, the world's end. Others of equal bravery may enter Folkvanger, ruled by Freya. Those who die of illness or old age journey to Helheim, ruled by Hel, a cold, shadowy realm, neither entirely blissful nor torturous. Norse belief values courage and honor over moral purity. Glory in life and remembrance in death grant immortality through legacy and song.